Hey, ladies and gents, this is the Wiz coming at you with another Mythic Legion Avian Warriors review. This time it's Toucar.
You almost started singing it. That was fantastic.
I did? Okay. Well, this is
Hey,
a very
ladies and gents, this is the Wiz coming at you from the video.
This is a very special video because it's the last of our Mythic Legion's 1.5 Avian Warrior reviews. I guess I could go back and do the earlier Gothotropolis.
You did that last time too.
Yeah, Gothotropolis
tropical
figures.
goths.
If people want, some of those older ones are, probably going to be available again at some point. But as far as the new 1.5 Mythic Legions Avian Warriors, Toucar is last, but definitely not least. So
It's not least, and it looks really cool because his beak is like serrated.
Well, the beak is the best thing about the toucan. As Toucan Sam will tell you, the Fruit Loops guy, follow your nose. It always knows. And this is a very special nose. It's really, really nicely painted, really nicely
It's
detailed.
serrated. It's gonna turn into
How
a
do
bread
they do
knife
that?
and eat you.
Well, the sculpt, the top of the beak is kind of serrated. And I don't know but how they did it, but they got like a little black wash in there. It looks like they've got more than one color on the beak. Yeah, I think what they did was they painted the beak like an orange yellow, and then they took a wash and it just really sunk into the crevices there on the serrated beak edge, and they did a really nice job with that. Obviously, I like the paint on the nose and up here.
Also, like the eyes, the blue and the black are just slightly different. So at first I thought it was just one black eye.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but I think that's one of the coolest things, that it has that orange sort of around the eye, and then it's got a thin blue circle, and then the black eye.
Also, the eyes kind of pop out a little bit.
Yeah, they do. They do. So that's a neat part of the sculpt. And all the other paint on the head is really neat and clean. All the feathers, the tiny feathers are sculpted. I don't know how Eric Treadaway, the guy who sculpts these, can have the patience to go in there and sculpt every single one of these feathers. I mean, every single one is individually sculpted and is different. And I don't think he has a tool that just pops these suckers out, because they're all different sizes. I mean, look at the leg.
Have you seen those people that carve the Eiffel Tower on the pencil lead?
No.
Stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
No, but I bet if he tried, he could probably do it. He's definitely really reached the stratosphere as far as action figure sculptors are concerned. The color scheme on Toucar, which is better than one car, because if one car breaks down or gets in an accident, you have another car. So Toucar it has a cool color scheme. It kind of reminds me of the Seattle Seahawks, where it's got that sea blue and the green. And I was thinking some people might trade heads between the toucan and the osprey, and they could have like a Seattle Seahawk mascot. I think that's one of the things that the Four Horsemen could have explored a little bit more, is selling this to sports fans.
Does he have loose elbow action?
Let me check for the loose elbow action, because there's a lot of sports teams, like the Cardinals, the Pelicans in New Orleans. Yeah, he does have loose elbow.
Loose elbow action.
The Seattle Seahawks. There's just a bunch of different sports teams that I think if football fans and basketball fans and stuff knew about these figures, they'd really go out there and go crazy for them, because they're so cool. So maybe a free marketing idea for next time. But yeah, he does have that light metallic green, and then the blue. It's really sharp. The Seattle Seahawks type colors, and then some gold that pops. He's got a golden lance with, again, some of that really subtle shading and oxidation here on the spearhead. I wonder about those serrated edges. I know that sometimes they do things with spears, so that the edges, so that when the blood will like flow out in a certain way, or else when you stick it in, it doesn't come out easily. I wonder what these edges are meant to represent. If I don't know if they're
harder to pull out, so it's more painful.
It seems like it would be, but I don't know if that's just for aesthetic purposes too, because it kind of looks kind of cool.
Did you see which wings would go on that one?
Well, it's pretty obvious that the black wings,
but not like glossy.
I would go with the either one, but probably matte black is probably the best for it. But of course, glossy black would work too. Probably can't even see that fine of a distinction, but yeah, it looks sharp. I really like the paint on.
Did you try putting the like million eye wings?
The million eye wings, I don't think go on the toucan. Toucan is, to me, is more of a whimsical instead of a mystical bird.
Come on, anyway.
You want to look? These are the wings that I got from the Angel of Death. Whoa! It's like, I bring you
funny.
Fruit Loops, and I will cause you the diabetes of the apocalypse. No.
Follow your eyes.
Follow your nose. It always knows. Doom will befall you. Range of motion there on the head. It's kind of cool. Haven't done a range of motion test. Yeah, he has the loose elbow, but like I said, that's no big deal.
Loose elbow action.
Loose elbow action. I'd much rather have a loose elbow. And I think all of these figures have loose elbows, and it's the same elbow, so I'm guessing it's something with the mold. Than, loose feet. I'd much rather have a loose elbow than loose feet or loose ankles. And the good thing about these is that the feet are nice and tight. The two knees, the two knees that it has are nice and tight. Everything else is nice and tight. And the loose elbow is just an action feature. Hey, so do you have anything else to say about this, the final review? Are you happy that we're done with the Avian Warriors, or do you want to try to do some more? It is a lot of variation on a single thing.
We've done like 2 reviews in one day, which is
I know.
nice.
You work so terribly hard.
I know, I had to work like an extra 20 minutes. Come on.
All right, well, kids, they don't work as hard as they used to. So I'm getting complaints, and he's probably going to go to the labor commissioner's office.
20 minutes. It's ridiculous.
This video isn't even 20 minutes. It's not even 10 minutes long.
2 reviews is like 20 minutes.
Complain. All right, Toucan. Definitely one of the coolest figures. I love the head. I think the little blue circle around the bulging eyeball is really, really nice. I like the orange around that. The beak, all the fine detail work on it, and the paint job just make this one of the nicer figures out there. I know I say that all this time, but every time I pull out another figure, I get excited, and once you pull them out of the package, they just really come to life, and you're like, well, which one's my favorite? I don't know. It keeps changing, but Toucan is Toucar.
I like the one with the uncreative name.
Toucar is definitely up there, and adds to the diversity, and has the coolest beak of the bunch.
My favorite is Melon
right?
Day.
Can we agree on that? He's got the coolest beak of the bunch. Yeah. All right, this is the Wiz signing off.